Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the CEI Council Communications presentation for May the 4th. This is Jennifer Pfister. I'm the Marketing Communications Director here with Girl Scouts of Virginia Skyline, and hello to everyone out there. We've got 2 volunteers currently, and yeah, many and there are more coming on. So hello to Roanoke and Charlottesville out there. The agenda tonight is I'll do a quick overview, as I usually do, about the Customer Engagement Initiative, CEI, as well as I'm going to do an overview tonight of CEI in general. We're going to do a short overview of online registration, then the Opportunity Catalog, the Volunteer Toolkit, and then customer care. We'll do a little bit of what's happening right now with our conversion over to CEI, how you all can help, and we'll have an open Q&A session for any extra questions you have. If you got a question as we're going around, put it in the chat box. I'll check through them and try to answer them as best as I can, or I'll get back to you with an answer. So let's get started. What is CEI? The Customer Engagement Initiative. It's a huge deal sweeping through the Girl Scout Nation. It started back in 2011 with a couple of councils, and now by the end of this year, almost all Girl Scout councils will be rolled over into this new way that we're engaging and communicating with not only our volunteers, but the families and the girl members. It's trying to make things easier, a way to improve overall how not only new members join, but how our current members can make things easier to be a troop leader, as well as for parents to be more engaged with the troop. It's a pretty awesome new initiative. So the specifics that we're going to go over tonight, there are 4 of them that are very specific to this new CEI initiative. There is a new online registration that truly shortens the time for troop leader onboarding as well as girl onboarding. There's a great opportunity catalog that allows girls and volunteers to check out what different troops or what different volunteer opportunities are available within the local area, their local community. And then there is the Volunteer Toolkit. Personally, this is my favorite of all. It is a great system for troop leaders and troop co-leaders to help them plan and communicate out to their troop. It's fabulous. And we'll do a little bit of extra review on the Volunteer Toolkit. And the last but never least is customer care, ways that you're going to be reaching out to council staff in order to make things easier and simpler and to get things done quicker. So let's get going. So the new online registration system, basically you're going to end up, if you're trying to join or volunteer with Girl Scouts, you're going to go to our website, or you can call us or email us. But there is an area here called Join Today. This is already on top of our website currently. And you'll be able to access an opportunity catalog through the Join for the girl members, for the troop opportunities, as well as the volunteer ones. So we'll just take a really quick look. Currently, these are actually connected to just information about how to contact us, as well as a Find a Troop area. And for volunteer, it's how to get started on volunteering and signing up. This is going to be now, you'll come to this. This will actually be, when you click on it, it'll go to actually a small, tiny little form. And this one is girl registration. And all you need is a girl's first name, last name, zip code, grade that fall, the parent's first name, last name, and their email and phone number. Nice little thing at the bottom that's not actually circled down there is how you heard about us. I like that. I like the marketing analytics and the research. So it gives you different options to pick from, whether it's a flyer or an open house or a festival, or it's a tradition to be a Girl Scout in your family. So what it opens up is, after they've filled that out, they actually go into the opportunity catalog. And this shows ways that they can participate. They can either, if they know that their daughter has a friend already in a Girl Scout troop and they have openings, they can actually go in here and type in the troop number. So this troop number right here, so they can specifically choose that troop, or zip code, where they live and how far they'd like to travel. And they're great as well because it's a very specific troop listing in the troop catalog. If a troop has decided that they are junior Girl Scouts and they just have fifth graders in it, and that's all they're accepting is fifth graders because they want to keep the girls all together throughout the years, you can actually just list that in your opportunity catalog that, hey, you know what, we have 6 new openings, but it's only for fifth graders. It can be that specific, which is kind of nice. So that opens up the opportunity catalog. From there, we'll get a little view on the volunteer side, some more specifics on it. But going to the volunteer, so just like up back on our website, how they actually register to be a volunteer. They click down here, volunteer today. Takes you to a short little form to get you started. For the adult, first name, last name, email, phone, and zip code. And of course, my favorite, how'd you hear about us? And what they can actually do is they can either click that they want to join as a volunteer, let me see the volunteer ops, or you know what, I just want to be a member, I'll look at volunteering at another time. So 2 different options to pick from. And then this opens up the opportunity catalog for the volunteers, the different roles and positions that are available. Either they can go here and they can actually do the specific troop number. They know that they want to volunteer for their daughter's troop or their granddaughter's troop. Or they can actually do it by zip code. They've come, they want to help out locally, they can look around and do it by zip code and the number of miles from there that they're willing to travel. So here's what it looks like opportunity catalog-wise, where they actually just select it based on zip code and how many miles. They can see that there are troop leader positions that are available here at the Desert Sun Academy, troop numbers. And there's family and friends volunteers for different troops over within this area here, within that zip code. They can actually click on these titles to get more specific information of what does it mean to be a family and friends volunteer, or what does it mean to be a troop or co-leader. So here they've clicked on family and friends volunteer, and they can see that it means that they're going to work with the girls and mentor them. You can be very, this is pretty short description. You can make it longer and, say, hey, we need your help chaperoning field trips, or we need you to be available at the meetings to help out. You can be more specific on what it is. But it's great because it allows you to tailor it to your troop. So if you're an outdoorsy troop, you may say, hey, we need you to go along on camping trips with us, or we need you to, we're a big horseback riding troop. We really like for you to come along if and help us out with our horseback riding patches or badges or, activities. So you can be very specific on what your troop entails. So the next greatest thing, and from what we gather talking to other Girl Scout volunteers across the nation outside our council, is this is the bomb. This is what they love the most, is this volunteer toolkit, because it takes that troop planning and it simplifies it. So it allows them to really organize it, and it allows them to organize it the entire year, what type of badge they might do, a patch, an activity. It allows you to either do multi-level troops in it, which is nice, or if you're just a Daisy troop or a junior troop, you just can actually select that. It has Daisy, Brownie, and Junior badges listed within it, the actual activities, how you would earn that badge, and how you can split it up over 1 meeting or 2 meetings and 3 meetings, and the resources. And we'll see a little bit of that this evening. It is shared by the leaders of the troop, so they can actually go in there and play around with it and make changes as needed. It's viewed by the parents. They cannot manipulate or change anything, but they can see it. It's a great way to talk with the parents and let them know about upcoming troop meetings. There's email built into it. You can just literally pop out notifications to the parents. And then it also has in it an attendance and a badge progress. So you can track your meeting attendance, and you can actually track what badges and patches and awards and pins that the girls are earning. And a really nice thing is we're allowed to actually go in there and put in our important dates as well for the council, as well as anything national like World Thinking Day, or when our Girl Scout cookie sale begins and ends, stuff like that.
Hey, Jennifer, I have a quick question. Do you kind of know the attendance and everything? Do you know if they have if it works on mobile devices or is it only like desktop?
Oh, you'll love it. Mobile. It is. It is mobile friendly. So it works on anything from your laptop to your iPad to your cell phone.
So while you're at the meeting, you could easily just remember, because I always forget by the time I get home who was there and who wasn't. So you can just mark it while you're right there with the kids. That's great.
Exactly. That's exactly. I actually have seen a picture of that, of a troop leader opening it up and marking attendance on it. So yes, that's a great piece of it that you can bring it with you without having to lug your laptop or even your iPad. iPads aren't too bad. They're a little bit smaller, but you're right. You open your cell phone up, mark the stuff in there, change things as needed. You can use it as, instead of even printing out paper about what you're going to do, you just got the agenda right there, so you can see, minute by minute, how if you're. Some people are really specific. They do, and they have it in there. You can do it, in 5-10 minute increments as much as you want, or if you just want kind of an overview what the meeting is. It's really up to the leader, but yeah, it's really nice that it's very tech friendly throughout all communication methods and modes. So how you would actually find it is on our website. Currently, we have something very similar to this up at the top, but they're going to add in mid-June a My GS button tab that you'll actually pull down, and you'll have access to the member profile, that's the membership database, and the volunteer toolkit. Both of them you can access with the same username and password. It works to get into both of them. So from the volunteer toolkit, I think we went over a little bit of this, but yeah, who can access it? Troop leaders, co-leaders. Of course, we just said parents have a read-only version of it. And by the way, there is membership information in there. You will have membership information of all your girls, but the parents can only see their daughter. They don't have access to anyone else's. And actually, they can see their daughter's information and actually edit it in there. They can go in there and edit that membership because it's connected to the back end of the membership profile. So if they notice that, oh my gosh, my email address is wrong, or oh no, my phone number is wrong, they can actually do an edit there. But they don't see anyone else's information because it's private. And the council staff also has access to the volunteer toolkit as well. These are really nice videos that we have. I think I'm going to do one of my favorite ones. We're going to pop over into YouTube real quick. And they have nice videos about the volunteer toolkit and how to actually utilize them. I think what I'm going to do is show you the year plan options and maybe do a meeting plan overview real quick. They're only one's 1 minute and 50 seconds, and the other one's close to 3 minutes. I'm going to pop over real quick, take a look at that. Hoping I had it up before, but let's see. Of course, hey, pass this along to your friends, family, neighbors. If they're looking for the really cool CEI videos, go to the Girl Scout website, click on Our Council. Actually, you don't have to click on Our Council. You know what? If you know our URL, gsbsc.org, it's /CEI. Lowercase, uppercase, it doesn't matter. But that takes you to the Customer Engagement Initiative webpage. And from there, scrolling all the way down to the bottom, there actually are the Volunteer Toolkit videos, as well as all of our weekly meeting presentations with just kind of a short description of what they're about. Let's see. Pop over and take a look. Actually, we're going to go over to setting meeting dates, time, and locations. This is a great one. Take a look at this. Well, it would be great if I actually unmuted it. Let's take a look again. hold on, let me skip to the end here. Let me go back. Okay, I'm pausing here because this actually answers Janet's question. That the volunteer toolkit is accessible through all these devices. I remember seeing this icon at one point, but I wasn't sure where, but now I know. So many different modes and methods that it is. One other piece of the puzzle here, because the volunteer toolkit is filled with fascinating things to do, resource tabs, the council activity events area. There's a new finance tab in it. We haven't gotten an overview of it, but we know it's going to replace our finance worksheets that we have that are due every year. It'll be a really nice capability. It'll be in there. You can update it throughout, weekly or monthly. It's up to you, but it'll come to us at the end of the year through that resource, the finance tab itself. So let's see, the year plan options. This will give us a nice overview of how you actually use the customization programs that they have. Of the badges that are in there currently, just like I said, for Daisy, Brownies, and Juniors. If you're a troop leader for older girls, the volunteer toolkit is available for you to use. It just does not have their badges within it. And it's something that they may look at putting into the future. But you're able to actually write it in yourself. Here, it's just a little bit easier that they have it set it up. You could just select it, and they have all the information about how you earn it. Let's do a quick preview of that. Just love it. I just think the volunteer toolkit is awesome. Coming from being on the other side as a volunteer, um, that just seems absolutely wonderful and a really nice resource to have. Any questions with regards to the volunteer toolkit that you might have? Let's go on to the next one, and actually the last of the four specifics for the customer engagement initiative that is coming up, and that's customer care. One of the biggest pain points that we have is that who to contact. It's a ever-evolving staff and a directory and restructures that where different people are taking on different roles. And it all means well, but it does cause a lot of confusion for service unit teams, for troops and parents of who to contact on the council for what. So we are scrubbing clean that there's only, well, two phone numbers, but you can contact us by phone or email, of course, in person as well. But there are two ways to ask questions now, or to inquire about something, or to speak towards a problem or a situation. It's by calling the 540-777-5100. That's the direct phone line into headquarters, or to email us at info@gsvsc.org. And what that does is there are people who are actually in charge of putting that question, that inquiry, suggestion, comment, whatever it is, into the system, and it goes, they know who it goes to. You don't need to know who it goes to. They know. They either, one, there's a Q&A log that we have, that our solutions log, we call it, where we have the answer to your question. We can easily tell you over the phone, or we can email it to you, however it's needed. Or we can actually immediately forward it on to that subject matter expert who on the staff is in charge of that area. That staff member will know that, and they will take care of that and put it on. And then that, the whole idea is to have it answered in, I think it's like within the day, is what I've seen, 8.5 hours I read somewhere from when it's received. And they'll get back to you with the method you want. If you want them to call you back, we'll call you back. If you want to hear by email, that's fine. Or if it's something that you need in person at a meeting, that's fine as well. It's just making it more simplistic for the volunteer, for the parent, for our collaborators, so that they know how they can get a hold of us. And from then on, any questions with that? Those are the 4 different CEI specifics. The new membership registration, the volunteer toolkit, the opportunity catalog, and our customer care piece. If there's no questions, we'll move on to the CEI timeline.
Yeah, Jennifer.
Oh, yes.
Jennifer.
Hey,
I have a question about, hi, Bonnie. A question regarding the registration.
Okay.
Is that parent registering their daughter and or themselves right then on that, or
it's up to them?
are we still,
they can actually stop, Bonnie, anywhere in that process, and it actually captures that information. Actually, that first screen is captured immediately and put into the system. So if they stop there and they're like, you know what, I don't remember that troop number, they leave the system. They're actually, after a day or two, they are shot out an email saying, hey, we noticed you were, us looking into Girl Scouts. Do you need any help? Do you need any help finding a troop, or do you have any questions? Real soft.
so they aren't actually registering with GSUSA.
They are, if they went through the whole process, they either knew
and it's giving them their credit card number and blah, blah, blah.
Yes. It goes through everything.
Okay. So they're actually registered.
Yeah, they actually will go through, and they actually they will actually check that they believe in the promise and law. Photo permissions on there. Yes, I'd like to receive emails from the council, or no, I'll opt out, or I'd like to receive text, or no, I'll opt out. There are screen after screen. You can sign up your daughter, and then it asks you, would you like to sign up, as an adult member or a volunteer, and you can go through that as well. So
is
you
that
can do
the way adults will register who are not, like for instance myself, who is not going to be a troop leader?
Well, yes. If
is that the way we will register?
If you were new, yes, but you are currently a volunteer, an adult member, so you're actually going to receive an email when we go over into the new system that'll say, hey, click here. Go ahead and get a new username and a password, and then you can go into your membership profile and update or do what you need to do.
Okay, so this is just for new people.
Yes, this is just for new people, or as Janet and I were speaking earlier about, it's for waitlist people as well that we may currently have on our waiting list. We're actually going to input them into our system.
What about financial assistance people?
That is actually on there. You check a box that says, I would like information on financial assistance, and then it stops there. They don't have a payment. And then it actually gets sent, an email gets sent to us, and we actually have a special email already put together that shoots directly out to them automatically with how they can actually sign up online for girl or adult financial assistance.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Good question, Bonnie.
have another question.
Sure.
Under the meeting number 2, under that volunteer toolkit, it says girls sample journeys. Now, I'm assuming this is meeting number 2 of the troop?
It's up to, I mean, there's a journey plan in there, there are badge plans in there, and there's a mix of everything that you have, but it's up to the troop leader when they want to start that journey. It may not be meeting 2. It truly is up to that troop leader. That was just a sample of one that they had put together.
Right, okay.
Because it takes a while to do a journey, and they put that in there. You know, it takes several meetings to do a journey. So you can do a mix of a journey versus badge, but normally by the first meeting, the idea of the first meeting should always be, and you guys know this, is getting the girls' input of what they want to do for the year. Do they want to do a journey? Do they want to do badges? Do they want to do pins? What are their interests? And then, you know, going from there, planning it out and using the volunteer toolkit to do that.
Right.
That makes sense? Okay.
Oh, and
You know what will be nice? I mean, we can, playing around in it. Because I've been able to actually go in and play around myself with it a little bit. Staff have had access to it, and I pretended like I was a junior troop leader, and I was going to do these badges and this one journey, and I just played around with the system and set it up, and it worked out pretty well. So
I can see that for a seasoned leader, but a new leader, first of all, she would not have access to the journey books unless she has purchased them, unless she can read them somewhere.
Tell you the truth, Bonnie, it's that specific. You don't need to purchase the book. Okay. It actually tells you exactly what resources you'll need, and it tells you what you're going to do for activity.
I saw that part on the previous.
Yeah, because if you open it up, I was amazed because I went in there. I'm like, I don't really like this activity, and I went in and retyped an area. I'm like, I'd rather do this version of this activity because, you know, things are a little different depending on the age of your kids and their abilities and what they can do. So,
what if the leader does not have smartphone access or internet access at the troop meeting?
Oh, you mean they're not, well, because, I mean, for a cell phone, depending, I mean, a lot of cell phones just, you know, pull down from satellite data. So, you know what, they can do one or two things. One, they can print it out and just bring it with them and actually just follow it, because you can actually print out everything for the meeting. And that's what I would suggest if you don't actually have access to do all that. Just print it out and then have it with you. And then go back and fill in your attendance sheet. Because the rest of it you won't need to do anything with. You know, unless you're tracking the progress of badges or an award or something like that, you could add that in as well for the girls. But yeah, I mean, that is definitely a possibility. You get to a place where you're like, you know, we have awful cell phone reception, and, you know, there's no Wi-Fi, and so there, you know.
Depending on what kind of building you're in, you may not have access to Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I mean, that is a definite possibility. So the idea of it can be an organizational type of system for you to start with, and then you just print off what you need and take it with you to the meeting. But the whole idea of it is just leave the books at home type of thing. You don't need to have to go through the books, the badge books, the journey stuff. It's there. Everything's there.
What about the girls, though?
Now, here's the thing with the girls. Now, if the girls want to earn stuff on the side, yeah, they'll have to pick up a badge book. Because, you know, I mean, you have that in juniors especially. You see a lot of that where they're like, I want to earn all this. And they do it on the side, and they come to the troop leader at the meeting and say what they've been working on. So, I mean, that still can go on because they're still going to have, that stuff is still going to be able to be purchased. That's not going away. But the other thing of if you want to actually kind of, I don't know, Bonnie, ask the question again. I may not be answering it right.
I'm just concerned that the leader is the one with the cell phone or the laptop doing the whatever, and it kind of takes away from the girls being the ones figuring out the bad stuff.
Well, the whole idea is, that's the other thing in it, is you can actually send out an email saying, this is what we're working on, and this course goes out to the parent. Well, older girl, it might go out to her email. But for the younger girls, it's going to go out to their parents, and it says, this is what we're doing at the next meeting. This is what your daughter needs to bring and prepare for. And this is what's going on, kind of giving you a highlight, an update. As a parent, I was like totally blown away by that they have the ability just to click and send it out and say, okay, this is what the troop's going to do, and this is what you need to bring. So that you're prepared, and the kid is prepared before, ahead of time, knowing what the activities are going to be. Because sometimes your kids are very apprehensive before going to meetings. I know that from doing Cub Scouts as well recently, that it's kind of nice to know ahead of time and give the parents a heads up of what's going on, so their kid, knows all the fun that's going to happen at the next meeting. So that
Right.
that allows them to be involved as well, more closely, because usually all you have a time for when I've been a den leader, or a troop leader, is a heads up on, here's the next meeting, here's the next time. Instead of, hey, I can shoot this out very simply through an email and attach it and say, hey, and actually you can attach resources, Bonnie. You can say, oh, we're going to work on this song. You can attach the actual song sheet to it. They have them in there. We're going to learn the Brownie song. Let me attach that. Oh, we're going to learn the Girl Scout Promise. Let me attach that. And you attach it in the email so they get a heads up and they can see it ahead of time and work on it if they want to. So
Okay.
that stuff's pretty cool. Yeah, from what I gather, Bonnie, too, what was very intriguing to me is that most the greatest number of people, troop leaders that are using it, are the new ones. They just love it. It sold them on becoming a troop leader because they had this program to help them get started. And that was the biggest thing. And it's actually, it's usually kind of junior on up. Those leaders are like, they've been going for a while. They've already got, their way that they're doing it. And they're kind of like, I'm fine. I know what I'm doing. I know how I'm doing it, So getting them to kind of try it out, that'll be our goal, is trying to get the older, the leaders that have been around, for a couple of years, try something new with it. But it's really great for the new leaders as well as just the Daisy Brownie leaders that we currently have, to help them out. You know what? This takes the burden of all that planning and processing, and it really makes it more simplified. So guess what they can do? Have fun with the girls. That's the best part of Girl Scouting when it comes to troop leadership that I loved, is being with the girls and, giving them that drive and that passion to be the best young female leaders that we can have. So it kind of puts the fun back in Girl Scouting for the leader as well. But continuing on, thanks, Bonnie, for the question.
Thank you.
The CEI timeline, really our timeline is really oriented towards the 2017-2018 membership year itself. Even though we are going to launch it during this year, that's pretty much our primary focus. Right now, we've been telling everyone, it's business as usual. We're continuing with what we currently have, and when we get the new system up and running, we will move over to it as fast as we can and get everyone smoothly transitioned over between the volunteers and the girls and our service unit team. And we're going to launch, it looks like, in mid-June. And once we launch, our volunteers will know within a week or two. We'll actually email you out. We're actually going to email you out an email saying you're getting an email. Just give people a heads up of what to look for. I think it's coming from Girl Scouts of the USA first. Right now, we have our staff recruitment specialists. They've been working with our team leaders, our recruiters, and school champions. We're kind of starting to reach out to the service unit teams to let them know kind of what's coming down the pipeline and the changes that we're having, because it really takes a load off the service units now. We're not having to do the find a troop or the waiting list. It's a really nice change. It allows the service unit teams to go back to kind of, they're leading the service units and they get to focus on the fun of putting together the programs for the service units instead of kind of managing the finances and, the finance worksheets and dealing with the waiting list and forming troops. That's changing. It's a nice new structure that we have coming up. How you all can help. All of our volunteers I've been speaking to, I keep telling them, just spread the word. I mean, that's the biggest thing to me. I've been telling people hey, just check it out a little bit. There's a nice video on the website in the very beginning that talks about CEI. I'm going to pop over to it real quick. It's the first video at the top. I always tell people, if you can do one thing, just spread the word, gsvsc.org/CEI, and just take a look at this short video. It just lets you see how other councils have had the volunteer toolkit and CEI go live and how they feel about it and how it's transformed their lives as troop leaders. Fabulous. It's kind of a really short overview of it. And then if you really want to delve in more, there's FAQs on the opportunity catalog. There's also FAQs down here also overall of any type that you might have to do with CEI. We've been trying to update it as much as possible. Anytime we get a question, we try to get an answer and just pop it in there. And then all of our weekly meeting presentations since mid-February are on here. They usually are anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour. So, but you can skip around in them and look at the good stuff if you have any specifics you're looking for. Ask any questions. We always appreciate that. If you think of a question later on, shoot me an email or give me a call, and I will try to answer it, or get someone else to answer it, so that we can kind of make this transition as smooth as possible. And so far, it's been going great. It really has. Volunteers have been awesome. The parents have been awesome. Staff, it's really going well. The other person, we actually have a project manager on staff, Megan Duvall. So here's her email address if you want to speak to her specifically about it, or mine, communications@gsvsc.org, either one of us. We've become pretty versed in the CEI world. But that's all I have for this evening. Any other questions before we say adieu? Well, if not, I thank you, Bonnie, and I thank you, Janet, for joining with me this evening for our CEI presentation. And I hope you all have a great evening and a great weekend. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.